Thank everybody for coming. Roll call, please.
Quisenberry. Rector. Here. Rosales.
Here.
Schwartz. Anderson. Here. Hartke.
Here.
Maxwell.
Here. We have a quorum. Are there any changes, or, pardon me, I seek a motion to approve the agenda and the addenda.
So moved.
Moved by Rosales, second by Jack Anderson. Any discussion or changes to the agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next item would be the approval of the minutes of the September 6, 2016 meeting. Motion to approve.
Right here.
Mr. Rector.
Second.
Mr. Hartke, second. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. At this point in time, we'll offer the opportunity for public participation. I have no slips here, and I do not see anybody in the audience that would want to, I believe, would offer request public participation opportunity. Therefore, at this point in time, I will close public participation. Thank you. Are there any communications from the committee? Hearing none, I would like to mention that County Administrator Rick Snyder has another function that he needed to attend this evening, therefore he will not be here. And of course, Mr. Quisenberry has already told us he would not be here tonight as well. So I will move on to the next item, and which will be a motion to adopt the County Facility Action Plan, and proposal is attached. You all received this plan several days ago, and included in that is a sample motion that someone may want to offer or amend or offer their own. But I feel like it's important that we do get this motion out and send this plan on to the full board at its October 20 meeting, I believe it is. I have talked with Chris Alex, and maybe some of you also has talked with him. We believe that the Special Joint Committee on Finance Facilities has done its work, and that this now becomes a facility issue, not a finance issue, because that will be dealt with at the full board meeting. So therefore, I think it's appropriate for this committee to act on this plan and hopefully we can do that tonight and pass it to the full board for its consideration October 20. Is there anyone here that would like to make that motion?
I move to adopt the county facilities plan, action plan, and move it forward to the full county board.
Is there a second? Mr. Anderson seconds that. Discussion. Hearing none, I'm going to do this by voice vote, unless there's a call for a roll call. You want a roll call? Okay.
Request a roll call.
Do we need a second on a roll call request? A second for the roll call request? Second. Mr. Anderson, second that. Call a roll, please.
Rector.
No.
Rosales.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Hartke.
No.
Maxwell.
Yes. Motion carried. The plan is adopted and by this committee with the recommendation to be forwarded to the full board to consider during its October 20 board meeting. Thank you all. Thanks to all the members of the committee. Next item on the agenda is item 8, approval of contract for ITB 2016-009, and that's for the Champaign County interior ADA improvements. You have some additional information before you. hopefully you'll have time to look at that. And I'm going to ask Dana at this point in time to go through those items with you. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Gary. Laid out before you, hopefully you found it when you arrived, are several documents. The first one is a bid tabulation. We opened bids this past, last Thursday at 2 o'clock. We had 4 bidders: Commercial Builders, Family Dickerson, Grunlow Construction, Schaumburg, and Schaumburg. Low bidder was Family Dickerson at 134. Base bid, this work that we're bidding, just to remind you, is to update ADA compliance code violations, if you will, or update facilities so that they do a prescribed ADA code within the courthouse. It's 2 courtrooms. We're going to take one of the large ones. There are 3, and then there are 8 smaller ones. We'll take 1 of each. So should we have a jury member, a staff member, someone who is wheelchair bound, needing some special assistance, that courtroom, whether it needs to be a large one or a smaller one, will be designated for that particular trial. So we will be in accordance with ADA. To do that, we've got to rebuild 2 ramps, one to the jury box, one to the staff area. It's also time we'll go ahead and recarpet the entire area because we have no attic stock. Once we take it up, it'll be in trouble. We'll also take off some wall covering in those 2 and paint. Additionally, there's a water drinking fountain on the first floor that needs cane detection on either side of it. It's not there. We have it for the second and the third floor. And then it's the 6 restrooms over here at Brookins that do not meet ADA code. So that's what the project entails. I feel very comfortable with Family Dickerson and their bid and their ability to do the work. The alternate is actually just the stall dividers over here at Brookins. So we're going to go ahead and include that. So the total will be $143,000. We have budgeted $170 in this year's budget to cover that. That's a combination of Family Dickerson plus our architectural partner, Bailey Edwards, covering their fees for this. The second document behind here is a note recommendation from Bailey Edwards, who feels very comfortable with Family Dickerson's bid. Judging from all 4, you can see that we're within $10,000. So it's, pretty good idea that everybody understood the scope of the project and understood the plans and gave us good pricing. All 4 of these folks showed up for the pre-conference meeting as well as the tours here at Brookins and the courthouse. So they all had good information and presented us with very good bid opportunities. All of the bids actually were lower than the initial price estimate of Bailey Edwards, which is a good thing. And then the third document is just a memo for me to Gary and the Facilities Committee, basically saying that similar things. It outlines the project, the details of what we went through, the invitation to bid, the pre-bid meeting, and then my recommendation that we move forward with awarding a contract to Family Dickerson for this project.
Thank you, Dana. Do I have a motion to approve the award of the contract for ITB number 2016-009 to Family Dickerson Company in the total amount for, including alternate number 1, of $143,000?
Yes. Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I think we'll move on now to item 9, the Facility Director's Report. He has several items to discuss, and so I'll turn this back over again to Dana.
Thanks, Gary. Excuse me. Several updates this evening, also included in that packet that you received. They're not necessarily labeled, but they certainly are in order as we go through here. But just a quick update on the county highway paving. It is completely finished. We finished on September 16th. County engineer Jeff Blue and I walked around the building, checked on the paint job, just, checked to make sure that everything was in good order. There are no spills, there's no, runs anywhere. Contractor did an excellent job, not only in applying the paint, but ensuring that the paint got where it was supposed to and not in the other areas, which is always important when you're painting. And don't have me paint your house, I can tell you that. I'm bad. But they did do an excellent job. We did receive the final pay application, which is a little over $77,000. It's $360 actually. And that was included, that was a first document past the paper-clipped document. That's been given over to Jeff Blue. Jeff is covering that. He budgeted for it out of this fiscal year.
Any questions?
Okay. Second update is on the nursing home's emergency rooftop air conditioning unit that was hit in an electric storm back in August. The new RTU has been delivered, it's been installed, it's up and working, it's chilling the air from the kitchen, which is a great thing because they were operating for about 3 weeks in about 84, 85 degrees in there, even with some temporary chillers that were placed inside. They're just not efficient enough to cool the kitchen, which produces a lot of hot air, as you might guess, when preparing meals. We developed a punch list on September 30th, anticipate finishing out all of the items. In fact, we're just down to a handful. There's a document from GHR Engineers which shows you the punch list items. Some of them are pretty minimal. Balance report for the unit, that's just after installation and providing us with the balancing effort they did. A couple panel screws need to be put back. Touch up on a galvanized paint area. They're all pretty minor. We have a training scheduled for tomorrow morning with our staff on operation of the unit. We'll also hand over at that same time then the operation and maintenance manuals as well as the drawings, specs for the unit at the end of training. So I anticipate by the end of the week, certainly by Monday, this project will be 100% done, and we did receive the pay application, have held it up until all of the items in the punch list have been completed. Any questions about the rooftop unit at the nursing home? Hearing none, I'll move on to the boiler emergency replacement at the nursing home. Seems to be a trend. We did receive on Wednesday, September 14th, 2 temporary boilers that have been rented for a month that will supply the reheats to the building. Reheats are important just because if you don't have the reheat when you're air conditioning a building, excuse me, the building can get pretty cold, and with the folks that we have as residents, that's not a good thing. So we're constantly using the boilers. In other words, 360 days, 365 days a year. New boilers were shipped, I think the 21st, excuse me, the 20th. Demolition has begun of the old boilers. They've been removed, as well as all of the old piping, the flues, air intakes. The 4 new Lochinvar boilers have been installed. They've been placed. They're not quite installed. They are working on installation. Pumps have been installed. We anticipate energizing the 4 new boilers on Tuesday, October 11th. Once that's done, we'll dismantle the temporary boilers and call for the company to Ware Inc. out of Kentucky to come pick up their temporary boilers, get them back home. Shortly thereafter, we'll develop a punch list and complete this project by Friday, the October 21st is what our deadline is. So we're on target. We're moving. Folks at A&R Mechanical have done a phenomenal job of moving this through very quickly. So we hope to be back up and working on the 11th. There's some information that's contained in here from GHR, one of the latest reports. Gives you a little idea about what the boilers look like and some various pictures that I've taken. Page 2 shows you the flues that have been put in and go through the penetration in the roof. They still have the upper area to put the flues on, but that should all be taken care of this week. Any questions about the nursing home boilers? Patsy?
I just want to congratulate you on the smoothness of this project. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not sure it was smooth, but it's getting done in a short period of time.
It's smooth. Okay. Comments?
Update on the Brookins boiler replacement, another boiler. If you'll remember, part of our capital project for this fiscal year was replacing the 2 boilers that were original to this building. We replaced them with 2 small Lochinvars. Both, there's 2 in pod 200 and there's 2 in pod 300. We completed and energized basically on the 21st. Hope to have the entire project and punch list done sometime next week. We still have a few items that are out there. We've had to add glycol, unlike the nursing home. Our pipes that go out from the boilers to provide heat to the building. In pod 300, the boilers are in the basement, but we have pipes that go upstairs, onto the roof into other areas. In pod 200, it's outside and goes completely exposed. So we've had to put in glycol, 30% in pod 200 and 15% in pod 300. And then we just need the final reports of those levels have been met. We're looking for operation and maintenance manuals. Similar to the nursing home, it's just something that is provided by the contractors at the end of the project so that our maintenance staff or an outside staff member who might be hired by us can come in and service these or determine if there's something wrong. There's schematics as well as various information that's provided in these manuals. Other than that, we're really winding it down pretty quickly. We did include in that packet again another report from GHR showing what's left on the punch list is the first document, which it's pretty down to a few things. Gives you some pictures, shows you a few things that were put in. Kind of gives you an idea. I think pictures are obviously a little bit better telling the story. But we're up and running and functioning, ready for winter, so. Oh, yeah. And in fact, I think we included that in the original information that went out that you received in the mail. But we did receive a letter from a DCEO stating that our approximately $18,000 is in our name. It's registered. It's good through 2017. All we have to do is fill out the final paperwork once the job is done, showing that the contractor's been paid, and sending that in, and they will be sending that to us. So we did qualify for some assistance as well at the nursing home for the boilers, and that's to the tune of about $55,000. I anticipate getting a note back from DCEO similarly to the one here for Brookings in about another month. It just takes that kind of period of time to, get through their systems. So we do anticipate getting that similar type of note. Any questions?
That's very good, Dana, and appreciate you and your staff working very hard on seeking those outside grants. Thank you. Next.
Okay, update on the exterior ADA compliance projects. Our contractor, Schaumburg and Schaumburg, has been working hard. We have been working on 6 different facilities, and this is, if you remember, the handicap parking and/or ramp in 5 of our buildings. So that's juvenile detention facility, Metcad, Elias, and Brookins, and the courthouse. And the nursing home is really more of complying for the staff that works there and making sure that the walkway is large enough so that if we have an employee who is in a wheelchair or needs assistance of somehow, that the walkway from the parking lot into the building meets code for slope and cross slope. 5 of the 6 facilities are complete. We have finished basically juvenile detention facility, Metcad, Elias, Brookins, which was finished over the weekend on Saturday, and the nursing home. We still need to put a drain in at the nursing home. Should be done later this week. The courthouse was started yesterday, poured concrete this morning, and we have to wait until Saturday to have the lot striped where we're putting in these handicap spots, because we're just too busy with cars and vehicles to try and attempt to paint yellow paint and not have somebody run through it or us get paint on somebody's vehicle. So, but we should be done 100% by Saturday at the latest. So, with that, I think that's all I've got. Anybody got any questions?
Since you mentioned the courthouse parking lot, are they having any continued problems with the metering machine or the fee machine, or is that kind of subsided?
I would say no. We're constantly called. We're called once or twice a day to go check on it. We do have a staff member who's assigned to the courthouse and to sheriff's office, so it is convenient for them to step out, but they have to stop what they're doing to go check on it. Most of the time, I would say it's a combination of somebody just saying, I'm not going to feed the meter, and go in and tell the court security that, hey, it didn't take my money or I didn't get my ticket. Sometimes it's that they don't put their money in and press which space they're in the appropriate length of time, and it times out and they lose their money and don't get their ticket and get frustrated. So
I did that once.
yeah. It's not the best. It's 12 years old now. Getting parts for it are becoming difficult. So it's one of the things that we have on our list of things to do over the next year to 2 years, is look at different things. I did meet with the city of Urbana and talk with them to find out about their new system that's available on your cell phone. It's a pay app. I think it's got some great things. It's possible that we may be able to join them with the University of Illinois and maybe Champaign on their system. We'll take a hard look at that this winter. But that would be a good way. I think for the majority, everybody's got a cell phone. So we'll look at that. New pay machines are pricey. We did research that last winter. They're in the $40,000 category, and that's a lot for a space, or a lot for our small space at the courthouse. So, but we do generate about $27,000 from public parking there. Can't quite pay for that in 1 year, but so we'll look at a couple of options and see what the best course is for us. That the nice thing about the pay app on a telephone, as it removes the liability of the machine going down or jamming or, so.
Are there any other questions of Dana concerning his report? Thank you, Dana. I think we'll move on then to other business. I don't have any other business. Dana?
I've got one last piece.
Oh, okay. Go back up to item 9.
No, this is on other business.
Other business, all right.
I wanted to inform the committee that Kirk Kirkland is resigning to take a position with MTD as their new facility director. Kirk is a terrific employee. He's a terrific worker. His knowledge of the county will be lost, unfortunately, by leaving us. He's been working for the county for 34 years, the last 5 here as our building and grounds maintenance supervisor. And we wish him well. We'll be opening up job opportunity sometime this week. We'll try and get the ad out and start looking for someone that can attempt to fill his shoes. He will be greatly missed. He's been a great leader for our people, and he's done a great job. He is well-liked, and so we want to wish him well.
I'd like to echo your comments. I know Kirk has been a great and very loyal and has done a great job as an employee of the county, and I know we will miss him, and we certainly wish him the very best in his future endeavors, speaking for myself anyway. Thank you. I have no other business then. At this point in time, I'll move on to the chair's report. I would like to mention that Mrs. Schwartz did enter the meeting at 6:36 or thereabouts, and welcome you. The future meeting will be Tuesday, November 1st, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. At the Brickens and the Shields Room. There will be a tour of the Sheriff's Office garage, the County Highway garage, the EMA garage, and the ILEAS garages. So I hope that you will all be there. Again, I thank you all for coming this evening and for your expeditious work in getting through this committee agenda, and appreciate your hard work always. At this point in time, the designation of items to be on the consent agenda, and the only one I see and would be the approval of the contract ITB, which would be item 8, would be on the consent agenda. At this point in time, I believe, let's call for the adjournment. A motion?
Move to adjourn?
Mr. Rosales? Second. Mr. Anderson? All in favor? We adjourn. Thanks a lot.